Dungeon Master quick tip of the day. Want to terrify your players without rolling initiative? Infect them with something magical. A sickness that creeps in, lingers, and twists the story around it. Let's talk about magical contagions. In the world of Dungeons and Dragons, these aren't your average colds and fevers. They're brewed in cauldrons, spill out of cursed ruins, or bubble up in places where magic's gone wrong. They don't just weaken your players, they change the way they play. Let me give you three that appear in the Dungeon Master's Guide that I've seen break even the bravest heroes. First, Cackle Fever. This one's almost funny until it hits your party mid-dungeon crawl. It usually shows up a few days after exposure. Maybe they drank a cheap potion. Maybe they wandered too close to a cursed shrine. Either way, it starts with a fever and a creeping sense of unease. Then the laughing begins. Every time they take damage, other than psychic, they have to fight to stay in control. Fail a constitution save, and the pain triggers a fit of wild, uncontrollable laughter. The kind that drops them to their knees, shaking and howling, completely incapacitated. It's psychic damage and public humiliation all at the same time. Even worse, it's contagious. If another humanoid is within 10 feet when the laughter hits, they've got to make a save or join the fevered chorus. And gnomes, for reasons no one understands, they're immune. Typical gnomes. Fighting it off is slow. Every long rest gives them a chance to resist, but they need to succeed on 3 saving throws before the fever breaks. Until then, they're a liability and a threat to anyone standing too close. Second, Sewer Plague. This one's not flashy, but it is relentless. It spreads through filth, bite wounds from sewer-dwelling creatures, tainted refuse, even a misstep in the wrong alley. If they fail the initial saving throw, they won't feel it right away, but a few days later, the exhaustion sets in. Their body weakens. They gain 1 level of exhaustion and suddenly everything becomes harder. Rest doesn't help. Hit dice heal half as much. Long rests stop restoring health, and the plague just digs in deeper. Each morning they roll a save. If they fail, the fatigue worsens. If they succeed, they push back against it, but it's a slow, painful crawl towards recovery. And the moment they let their guard down, the plague starts winning again. Unlike Cackle Fever, it doesn't spread in bursts of laughter. It's quiet, creeping, dirty, and it's perfect for urban campaigns or adventures that spend too much time underground. Lastly, Sight Rot. Now this one's cruel. It usually comes from drinking tainted water, an underground stream near a cursed site, or a village well defiled by something otherworldly. There's no warning. 1 drink, 1 failed save, and the world goes dark. The creature is blinded, and they stay that way until the contagion is removed. It doesn't fade over time. Healing magic like Lesser Restoration or Heal work instantly, but without it, they're stuck. There is one other way. If someone in the party is proficient with an herbalism kit, they can spend an hour brewing an ointment. When applied to the eyes, it suppresses the blindness for 24 hours. 3 days of that, 3 doses, 3 applications, and the rot is cured for good. But it doesn't stop with 1 victim. If another humanoid touches the infected's skin, just skin contact, they risk infection too. And if they fail that save, they're just as blind and just as desperate for a cure. These aren't just flavor text, they're living, breathing story engines. Use them to drive a desperate search for a cure, to isolate the party, to raise tension without a single enemy on the field. They change how players think, move, and rest, and force decisions that can haunt an entire campaign. So next time your players think they're safe between combats, remind them, magic doesn't just kill. Sometimes it lingers. And as always, just roll with it and keep the table epic.